Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again on the forex market. So we're living in interesting times. So just the dust set down after the collapse of the credit use. We're seeing that actually UBS default spread is returning back to the point where the credit use once was actually. So it starts to remind the nested doll. So started from the hostage of the credit use, next to the UBS, and who will be next? Swiss National Bank. So we will see, but the tendency is developing not really in a good way. Currently across the board you could see some pullback on the dollar. The dollar is becoming cheaper just because of the, as you know, and we mentioned it in our Telegram, of the swap lines, which is actually were opened by the Fed Reserve and the major central banks to each other to provide necessary dollar liquidity to the other markets, not only in the United States but across the globe. So because as you know, the really big amount of bonds, actually 70% of all bonds in the world, are nominated in the United States dollars. Besides, Fed hasn't closed actually its supportive program in United States by the local participants. It's also possible to get the financing if you have the treasuries on the balance according to the rules that have been set. So even if central in a bank in Europe and in Japan and other countries could get this liquidity support in a row with this program, not only the United States Bank. So we will see what will happen. Currently market, it seems, stands in some indecision because everybody actually is a bit scared of the recent events, and uncertainty is currently the major risk factor. So nobody knows what will happen, what next bank will collapse. But it seems that soon we will see the First Republic Bank crash. It's just because you could see the stock performance and in general based on fundamentals, it's very similar to the Silicon Valley. So whether it will be the hostage or some rescuing plan, it doesn't matter. This is collapse. This is bankruptcy. So speaking about the performance of the currencies, not many things to talk about. Euro currency mostly stands the same, and there we are just watching for patterns that we discussed. Actually watching for targets that we discussed yesterday. So take a look once again on the daily chart in euro. It's mostly the same destination point. On lower time frame, we said if market, so market is calling around confidence. We said if market somehow will break the OP, we will be watching for XOP. That's potentially an area that actually separates the bearish context from the bullish. If market will break it up, taking out of this top on a 4-hour time frame chart, on the daily chart, we will get breakout, erasing recent collapse that has happened, and banking risks, actually banking crisis last week, and market could keep going higher, taking out of this top. This will be probably the break of the bearish context, and in this case we could see returning back to the top, or maybe some other performance, we will see. But if market taken out of this top, it probably will erase this ABCD pattern, which is also will be bullish. So that's what we have currently on euro currency. That's why mostly we're still keep watching for the same pattern that we discussed and watching for a completion of the XOP. We're coming to the Fed meeting, so it is just interesting how the Jerome Powell speech will impact on market. Currently, as you can see, well, it's very difficult to make any decisions because we do not have any patterns in place that we could trade, and mostly market stands in a wide consolidation. So here still some signs of the bearish dynamic pressure exist, but it is a symmetric pattern that gives no actually clue for direction. So theoretically, you could try to, for example, take the short position around the XOP, but that will be mostly an attempt to some hope that market will turn down. So here is no signs that this reversal probably could happen, and place stop above this area. So the only attractiveness of this stuff is just a very small risk. If you will be right and your position will be supported with the Fed decision, some comments maybe, that's great. Maybe we'll get the downward continuation. Otherwise, your loss will be not too significant. So, but in general, personally, I prefer to wait in the current situation. That's why, actually, based on the situation in the euro, that's why I thought that maybe it makes sense to keep an eye on Great British Pound, what's going on there. And here is really interesting stuff. Let's take a look. First of all, here's what we have on the weekly chart. So on the daily chart, it's difficult to explain. It's on the weekly, it looks better. We have the ABCD OP. If you remember, we have have made few trades in this area within the previous month, but currently the performance is taking the shape of the flag consolidation. This week, hardly we will get any significant action, just because take a look, weekly overbought stands 24.30 right there, sorry, 24.51, and here we also have weekly resistance area. So this potentially bearish stretch pattern that might be formed in this area. Besides, take a look at the grubber. So here is based on the MACD, we could get bearish grubber. If we will get some volatility this week, the market will be able to show some minor continuation to the upside and touch the line of the MACD predictor. In this case, this also could be accompanied by the grubber. So from that standpoint, as you understand, the combination of the bearish stretch and bearish grubber at this point with the overbought, this is not bad background for a possible pullback, which is also we could consider. But with this overall shape, as you can see, ABCD pattern and the flag consolidation near resistance after OP, this looks more bullish, and potentially in the midterm perspective we could get further continuation to the XOP. This is possible. But it seems, guys, that all this stuff will be backed by some fundamental things. Because we were right now we're just it's really tough times, and every day could happen something. It's because a lot of speeches, different events is going on, and it's coming from, and they are external, so they coming from some authorities, public persons, some regulators, or other people who are really could make impact on the overall situation. And this performance probably could be triggered by, well, I don't know, maybe some Fed action or something. In short term, this week we could focus just on this resistance and possible pullback reaction on this area, and also we'll be watching for a possible grubber appearing. It means that on the 4-hour time frame chart, take a look, we have inside of the flag this ABCD pattern. Actually, on our forum, the Wirish has mentioned this ABCD pattern, but he has shown it on the dollar index. You could find the same pattern actually on euro currency. We have mostly the same stuff, but on the cable it looks like just a bit better. So in terms that it's well, better shaped. So OP 2410. This OP is very close to border and the resistance area. So maybe we could get some kind of let's take a look, some kind of the garter steeple to sell or something of that sort. So completion of this OP also could give us the grubber, and we will be near a very strong resistance area, which potentially creates not background for considering taking short-term bearish position, with the hope that maybe some pullback here could happen inside of this flag consolidation. So that's in two words that we have currently. So currently in general, guys, it's very few good trading stops across the board. So if you'll take a look around the different currencies, it's very difficult to find something really bright and clear for trading, because markets are nervous, markets sit on their hands in current uncertainty and wait when the finally some clarity will come.